What if I told you that some of the most horrifying acts of cruelty in history were not committed in secret, but in the open, designed to humiliate, degrade, and break women in every way imaginable? Picture metal claws ripping flesh, brutal devices forcing unbearable agony, and public humiliation so dehumanizing that it left scars deeper than the wounds. These weren't punishments. They were declarations of control, warnings to every woman who dared to resist. In this video, we uncover the chilling truth of history's most brutal punishments for women. But once you step into this darkness, there's no turning back. Throughout history, the punishment and mistreatment of women have taken some of the most barbaric and dehumanizing forms. While public executions and gruesome methods of torture often dominate discussions about history's cruelest punishments, the targeted suffering inflicted upon women stands out as particularly heinous. These acts were not only meant to harm but also to strip away the dignity, humanity, and respect of women, reinforcing societal control and patriarchal dominance. This video delves into some of the most horrifying punishments endured by women across different eras, including ancient times, medieval Europe, and the tumultuous period of the French Revolution. Each example highlights the cruelty of these practices and their purpose in maintaining control over women and society. The Spanish donkey, one of the most infamous torture devices used in medieval Europe, was the Spanish donkey, also known as the wooden horse or chevalet. This brutal instrument consisted of a wooden plank fashioned into a sharp, triangular edge. Victims, often women accused of adultery, heresy, or other offenses, were forced to sit on this sharp edge with their full body weight. Weights were sometimes tied to their legs to increase the pain and hasten injury. The excruciating suffering caused by this punishment often led to severe injuries or death. During the Spanish Inquisition, the Spanish donkey was used not only as a punishment, but also as a means of coercion, forcing victims into making false confessions. This device exemplified the lengths to which authorities would go to exert power and control, even if it meant violating basic human dignity. The breast ripper. Another grotesque form of punishment in medieval Europe was the breast ripper, also known as the Spanish spider. This torture device was specifically designed to target women, particularly those accused of adultery, heresy, or similar crimes. The device consisted of 4 metal claws, which were heated to red-hot temperatures before being applied to the victim's breasts. The claws would tear through flesh, inflicting excruciating pain and often causing death from shock or infection. The breast ripper was not only a tool of punishment, but also a method of forcing women into false confessions. Although it was primarily used on women, it was occasionally employed on men, underscoring the barbarity of the practice regardless of the victim's gender. This device serves as a grim reminder of the extent to which women were brutalized to enforce societal norms and suppress dissent. The Scorns Bridal. The Scorns Bridal, or brank, was a device used in Europe during the Middle Ages to punish women accused of verbal transgressions, such as gossiping or nagging. This apparatus consisted of a metal cage placed over the victim's head, with a protruding piece inserted into the mouth to prevent speech. The women were often paraded through the streets, subjected to public humiliation and ridicule, leading to social ostracism and isolation. The Scorns Bridal was not only a punishment but also a means of enforcing patriarchal control, aiming to suppress women's voices and behaviors deemed unacceptable by societal standards. It highlights the oppressive nature of the period's gender dynamics, serving as a cautionary tale about authoritarianism and intolerance. The iron chair. The iron chair was another tool of torture used throughout history to extract confessions, punish criminals, or suppress political dissent. Constructed from iron and often adorned with spikes or nails, the chair inflicted immense pain as victims were forced to sit on it, causing the sharp objects to pierce their flesh. Sometimes, heat was applied to the chair, further intensifying the agony. Although the iron chair is no longer used today, it symbolizes the extent of human brutality in the pursuit of power and control. Its legacy reminds us of the importance of upholding human rights and the need to reject such barbaric practices. The Pair of Anguish. The Pair of Anguish, also known as the Pair of Sorrow, was a device designed to inflict severe pain and humiliation on its victims. Shaped like a pear and often made of metal, the device featured blades or spikes on its interior. It was forcibly inserted into the victim's mouth, vagina, or anus, and then expanded, causing the sharp edges to tear through tissue. This torture device was used for multiple purposes, including punishing offenders, coercing confessions, and humiliating political dissidents. The Pair of Anguish represents the cruelty inflicted in the name of justice and authority, highlighting the inhumanity of such methods and their lasting impact on society. Republican marriage. One of the more grotesque punishments women endured during the French Revolution was the practice of republican marriage. This punishment targeted women accused of crimes or immoral behavior. It involved tying a naked woman to a naked man, often of lower social standing or deemed undesirable, and then submerging them together in a river to drown. This act was a form of public humiliation designed to reinforce traditional gender roles and societal hierarchies. Republican marriage served as a tool of subjugation and control, perpetuating the notion that women were inferior to men. It underscores the brutal lengths to which societies have gone to maintain power dynamics and gender-based oppression. The broader implications of historical punishments. These punishments reveal a pattern of using violence and humiliation to control and degrade women. While these acts were justified at the time under the guise of justice, morality, or societal norms, they expose a darker truth about power and the lengths to which it has been wielded to oppress marginalized groups, particularly women. The barbarity of these punishments also serves as a stark reminder of the importance of gender equality and human rights. Recognizing the suffering endured by countless individuals throughout history highlights the need to reject such practices and to advocate for a world where dignity and respect are afforded to all. The lessons of history. Although these instruments and methods of torture are no longer in use, their legacy remains relevant. They remind us of humanity's capacity for cruelty and the importance of vigilance in protecting human rights. They also emphasize the resilience of those who suffered under such systems and the ongoing struggle for equality and freedom. In understanding the historical mistreatment of women, we are reminded of the progress made and the work still to be done. These stories challenge us to confront the injustices of the past and to build a future where such atrocities are unthinkable. What are your thoughts on the punishments imposed on women throughout history? Do you agree or disagree with the systems that allowed such cruelty? Share your perspective and let us know what time periods or civilizations you'd like to learn more about. If you're fascinated by history, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and explore more intriguing stories.